Mayor Miller, thank you for joining us for this segment, Ask Mayor Miller. We wanted to talk with you first about the garbage situation. We're still getting calls, and I know commissioners are getting calls. Most recent call I had was from a condo unit that had an agreement with the prior contractor, and now with the change, what kind of problems are still out there? I know you opened up the convenience center for people to take their cans, but not everybody can. So what is the status of the transition?
Well, we'll be providing an update very soon, but for right now I can tell you that the number of calls and complaints that we got, they've decreased. We were getting probably 2,000 a week, and now we're getting less than 100 a week. So I can say that getting Riling involved and getting them taken care of since January, things have worked a lot more smoother than before. The problem we're getting now is not directly related to anything they're doing. Most of the complaints we get are situations like maybe the apartment complex had a private contract with the former waste management company had their contract, and they may have stopped it because it was residential, realizing they billed them separately and they mistakenly cut their service off, and Bibb County doesn't provide that service or a pass-through service or collect any of their monies. So we have had a couple of those pop up where people just assume that it's the county's issue and it has something to do with our transition, but really it was the third-party company disconnecting the service improperly with that particular community or apartment complex and not servicing. Now they're getting back on that. But the most common problem has been the green trash cans. We don't own those cans, and I've said it day in and day out for a long time, is Macon Bibb County does not own those cans. Therefore, it's not our responsibility to remove those cans, and we have given them an opportunity to remove those over a period of time, and certainly not happen as quick as we like to. We'll be making an announcement on that probably within the next 24 hours on that. But the bottom line is that their cans, they're supposed to remove them. It started back when we had the red cans delivered. Waste Management would not empty red cans. So we had hoped to have the red cans placed there and to pick up the green cans when we started this process right after Thanksgiving last year. But because they refused to pick up the cans of their competitors, maybe for liability reasons or other reasons, it put a month behind on the transition process between the red and the green cans. So therefore, we could not wait until January the 1st came along for Riling to take over all the community, still having to deliver some red carts out and some blue carts out. The other thing is we received an incomplete list from the previous company. So Riling was handed a list of all the residents, all the parcels that was incomplete. Not pointing the finger at anyone in particular, but when you have a list that says you're going to distribute these locations, this amount of cans, and that's what you had to work off of, they delivered all the cans that they were supposed to deliver, and the bottom line is that that list was inaccurate. So we had to get a better list. What happens, between the county and the waste management companies over the last several years, it would flip-flop between who's responsible for the secret fix, who delivers the cans, who picks them up, and I suspect after the initial delivery the last time, no one updated the list when all the folks started asking for other cans or maybe got a separate can or got recycling. So the list wasn't accurate. They would go to your house because they had your address, but your neighbor may not necessarily be a recycler or something on that list, and they didn't drop one off to you. Doesn't mean they skipped the whole street or you in particular. They're just going by parcel that they had an address for, and that's how the company got paid. Again, Macon Bibb County is not putting those red carts out, not putting the blue carts out. A third party was contracted to do that service. So it's not Riling not bringing you a can or skipping you out. It's not Macon Bibb County not doing that. They're relying on a list they had, and they're doing their job and they're completing their list. The list just happens to be inaccurate, and we're working through those difficulties. We want to make sure everybody gets a red can first as much as possible, and then the blue cans, for those that don't have it, they'll begin to start working through the secret fix list very soon.
Last time I went by the mall, there didn't seem to be many red cans left. So do we have to order more?
We've ordered them in stages, so there are more red cans coming in. One example may be, say for instance, we got a list from the previous company that says you have a one parcel that's designated ABC Lane. It didn't say that there was 4 duplexes on there. So you account for 1 trash can for a parcel when there may be 4 to 8 on there. We ordered extra in the very beginning, and we got a drop ship really quickly, and then we started getting others in as they come available. So we'll have all the red cans out. We're hoping to have those out by January, but we have most of those out. But some people pay for 2 and 3 cans. That's the other thing. We have a couple thousand people in Macon who pay for 3 cans at their home or their residence where they may reside at, and they pay that money per can, and some only receive 1 can when they're paying for 2 or 3. So that creates a number that we need to order. We've ordered those have began to come in. The blue cans were extra recycling that we had because we realized the list that we had were in the very beginning were incomplete. A lot of recycling people added on after a period of time, and they never updated the list. So we do know that we're going to work through the secret fix to get those blue cans out. What we told everybody is that if you only have a green can and you have no red can delivered to you, then they will still pick up the trash in that green can. What we try to discourage people, and despite our best efforts to get the word out, I still see people putting trash in the red and the green cans side by side, and at some point that has to stop. We are paying the trash company based on a can and an average collection amount of pound per month or per week, and we can't continue to ask them to absorb all the costs of picking up double and triple the amount of trash at these locations.